Watch this video and try not to think of me while it's on. Seriously.
What's up, guys? Drone worship in your face, and just kick things off here, we're going to go ahead and start this off with our channel sponsor, Vaptur. This video is made possible because of Vaptur, so we're going to give them the proper shout out that's due here. If you guys have not had an opportunity to check this app out, I totally encourage you to, especially if your editing skills are not wonderful. This app actually simplifies some of the process without actually having to do some editing. Now, this is very simple editing. So for instance, there is a big window and a small window. In the small window, there's an 8-second delay from what you see on the big window. The big window is running at real time. The small window is 8 seconds behind the big window. So what it allows you to do is capture moments. So you watch the big window and you know what's coming on the window, right? And then when you're ready to capture the moment, you click on the small window, it starts recording, and when you've captured the moment you want, you stop. So basically it's running two windows, a small one and a big one. The big one's real time, the small one is 8 seconds behind. And it allows you to do very easy editing. Because you're just picking the part of the video out without having to actually learn editing software. So it's a very neat app. So shout outs to Vaptur for making this possible. And let's go ahead and kick off 2020.
Alright, what's going on there, guys? So I had an opportunity to test this thing on stock antennas, and it only reached about 100 meters, which is not even 400 feet, I think. It only got out to about 325 feet or something like that, and it started losing range, but it kept visual, which is 5.8, which is this side. And this, I believe, is the 2.4. So we're going to go ahead and open this up today. You got to remove these two screws up here, these little plug holes. Little Winchester knife here. We'll go ahead and pop these out real quick. These are just little rubber pieces here, as you can see. Pull that one out and see what's in there. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. I'll have to look at this a little bit closer here for a sec, but let's go ahead and pop these out and see which ones are the screws. There's the screws. Alright, so looks more or less like it's I don't think those, oh, they may have to be unscrewed. We'll have to take a closer look at this here in a sec, but right now I've got two screws here. I've got another set of these, which I think is for an external monitor. If you wanted to hook up an external monitor, I think that's how you would plug into these. You'd screw in the monitor clip. So yeah, that's what that looks like. Well, let's go ahead and pull these screws out real fast. If I can here. Undo these. We'll have a look at what's going on inside this transmitter. Come on, bud. I want to put some SMA connectors in here. Come on. There's one. Put that aside for now. There we go. There's a magnet up here, so I love the fact that this has a really high output magnet. It keeps all your screws in one spot. We'll undo the other one here if I can. There we go. Okay. Now we got that undone. Boom. Unclip that. Let the magnet take over. There we go. Alright. I don't think there's any on the bottom here. We can have a look though. I'm going to break this down into a couple parts. Yep. No screw holes that I can see. Okay. Pop that back on just in case for now. Get that in there. There we go. And let's see if we can pull this apart gently on camera here. Okay, so it's coming. May have to do a little work here to get this popped open. As this is taking a lot of force here. Let's see if I can get a... There we go. Just stick the knife down in there gently in between the seam and just apply a little pressure. There's that. Now you can come over to each side where you can see the joint popped open. Put it in between the joint. Just add a little pressure in between the joint. Add a little pressure. Oop, just be careful. There we go. Let's see what happens inside of here. Okay, there's our GPS. Let's go ahead and set this down on its face here. Have a look inside, if possible. See how everything looks in there to get you started. Okay. Oh yeah, these antennas are going to be easy to work with here. All right, well, I'm going to stop this video recording real quick, guys, and start another one. I'm going to assess what I need to do, and then we'll move forward here. Just give me 1 second. I'll see you guys back here in a minute. Okay, guys, welcome back. I think a great place to start here is actually going to be to pop these IPEX connectors off, which you can see right here. This is the FPV IPEX connector wire right there, which connects to this main board. So if you can see me down in here, try not to touch any electronics. Pop that off if you can get it. There's one. And you know, guys, if you can do this with something other than metal, obviously you want to do that. You don't want to short something out with the battery in here, but I'm pretty careful, so I'm going to go ahead and just do it how I normally would. There's those two. So this is 2.4 and this is 5.8. So don't forget that. 5.8 on this side, 2.4 on this side. If you're looking at the front of the transmitter, 5.8, 2.4. Okay, so we'll crack this open and we will go ahead and so these are going to be hard to put back on. there's no doubt about that. But what I am going to do is go ahead and install this connector right here to get us started. Okay, and that will be for the range. Right now I'm not going to do this one just yet. We will come back and do this one. Right now all I want to do is change out the 2.4 to be able to take a much larger antenna. This is a 5 dB antenna. As you can see, it's a considerable difference here. These are both dipole, 360 degrees. So what we're going to do, like I said, is we're going to pop this out of here. I'm going to figure out how I can get this out of here. And it looks like you can just squeeze it and it'll come out. And we're going to go ahead and replace it with this SMA connector, which, as you can see, is a male. I don't know if you guys can see that here. Anyways, there's a prong inside there. Here, let's see if we can do it this way. See if we can get it to autofocus. It's being really silly. Let's turn this light off and see if that helps. No? Anyways, there's a prong sticking out inside of here, so it's not a hole. This is what it would look like with a hole in it. That's a prong that's inside there, so you can only put antennas on there that have a hole, obviously. Difference between RP, SMA, and SMA. So, alright, so we're putting a male in here. Okay, so I'll turn that light back on. I think the easiest thing to do from here is probably disconnect this set of wires. Get a good hold on stuff. There's that. We'll disconnect the bottom set here, give a little pull, and we will pull these off right there. So now all the wires have been disconnected. So now I can set this aside and we don't have to worry about frying anything. So that's the top of the transmitter. And we'll go ahead and put this aside for now. I'm just going to set that out of the way. Make sure I don't set it on the sticks. And I think if I just give this a little squeeze with a pair of pliers, this antenna will probably just pop right on out. So it looks like a squeeze bracket. If you can see, there's a... Oh man, I gotta turn this light off again. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. So there you go. It's like a little pinch bracket. You just pinch it together and then you push the antenna out. So what we're gonna do, grab by the bottom and the top here, and we're gonna try to squeeze this together and pinch this antenna out. If I can get a hold of it. This is kind of hard to do from this angle. There we go. I got the bottom in. Now let's do the top here. Bottom, I think the bottom went down. Yep. Now we'll do the top here. Boom. And it has been pushed through. So now we'll go ahead and just pop that antenna out of there. from here, I'm going to unscrew this one. And we'll go ahead and push that up and through there. Figure out if I need to modify that at all. Looks like I might have to. Or, for now, we can just take these off here. Probably don't need those. See if we get some more distance out of it. There we go. That's much better. How far can we go? Let's see if we can drop this lock nut down in there. That fit on there pretty good. And let's just see if we can screw this on, or if this is not going to be enough. Okay, so, alright, I think the best thing to do here might just be to glue this antenna in place. I was really hoping I wasn't going to have to wreck this. So, but this needs to be modified. So we'll go ahead and make a little cut here. I'm going to work on this with a utility knife, and I'll see you guys in a second. Okay guys, because I may want to reverse this at some point and put this back to stock, I don't want to destroy anything, so I'm going to show you what my plans are. I'm not going to even put the bolt through there, but what I am going to do is push that SMA connector solid up against the top. And then I'm going to take my 5 dB dipole antenna, and I'm going to screw this onto here. And I'm going to screw it nice and tight. There we go. And then I'll straighten this out so you can see that the antenna is being held solid. And I'm just going to take a dab of Loctite super glue on both sides just to keep this locked in place. And I'm going to go ahead and just squirt some on here. That way if I ever want to redo this, I can. So we'll just put it on here. I can pop this free if I need to without damaging anything. But if I an accident drop it or something like that, it won't just come loose. Once this dries, it'll have a really good fit. So I'm using gel so it doesn't fall all over the place. So we have gel Loctite super glue on there. That's pretty easy. And like I said, if I want to pop this off, I can just grab a, it'll be good enough to tighten different antennas on there if I want to once it dries. But then if I ever want to take this off, I can just grab it and just pop it free. So anyways, that's what the plans are here. So I'll put a little bit more up here. Make sure this, when this dries, this has a really good hold. There we go. Bring this up into here. Excellent. Make sure it's good and spread around there. Alright, that's good enough. So I'm going to keep this antenna just in case I ever decide to go backwards. We'll keep this one in the drawer of goodies here. Alright. And I think I'm ready to go ahead and make sure I don't have any super glue on my fingers touching anywhere. Go ahead and drop this back in the drawer. And I'll put this back on carefully here. Okay. So I think the best thing to do is to start with putting this up on something that will hold it up in place, like the antenna that we just put on there. And that IPEX connector is going to be hard to get back on there. I think we'll start with this one here. Let's see what the best way to do this is, and I think it's going to be to cross over like so. Gonna have to circle this pigtail down at the bottom a tad bit. Probably go underneath itself here. This will make it easier. These IPEX connectors are not easy or fun to work with, just so you guys are aware. All you're gonna do is line it up real good if you can. And then pop it on there. Let me try it from this way. This will probably be a bit easier. I just got to get it on there. And then I can work with the other ones. Come on, you. There we go. There we go. So that apex connector is on there now. So when I go to put this back down, I want to make sure that's going to flow smoothly. I don't want it to pop off there when I'm done, so we're going to end up having to probably push some of this wire back in there carefully. And you'll see what I mean. But for right now, it's on there. And we will go ahead and plug in the bottom one here now. Start with this side. I'll plug in this one. Same thing with this side. We'll go ahead and plug this side in here. Let's see if I can get this. If I can get this to where you guys can see it. Try to do it so you can see it. There we go. That one's plugged in now. That apex connector is still on there. We have one more to go on this side here. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Let's bring this back up just a tad. Now this is where things start getting harder and harder to work with. That last apex connector is going to be kind of evil to try to put on here. But we should be able to get it. Last one. And then we can put her back together. There we go. Transmitter is all reconnected. The new antenna is on there. It has its own space. Now we got to set this down and slowly feed this. Make sure that doesn't unclip. Now you guys won't be able to see what I'm doing here, but I'm just making sure that the apex connector wire doesn't go anywhere it's not supposed to. I think we're good to go there. I think. There's that. Beautiful. Slowly start up this side here. Just squeeze it back together, you guys. And it's all back together. There you go. That should look pretty professional, huh? Not too shabby. Now, you can still bend this either way you want to, nice and loose. And like I said, right now, the 5.8 is working good. And I can always reopen this later on and do another mod. The fun thing is now I can change this antenna whenever I want to something else. I could just unscrew it, order an antenna, and pop it on there. Very easy. So as that glue dries in there, we'll be good to go. Turn it on, make sure it doesn't detect any issues here. Boom. Good to go. Huh? Check that out. Pretty easy. You can still push them sideways together. So, yeah, you just have a bit more control range now. We'll probably do the maybe even a patch antenna on this side or a nice little setup. Either way, we'll figure out something for this. So we'll go with this and see what happens. I do want to do an FPV test, so if this definitely gets us longer range than the video, then I have an idea for the video that we'll go with. But as of right now, I should definitely get more than 100 meters of range through 300 feet. That was pretty sad that it only went 300 feet, but it doesn't seem to be detecting any problems, so we're good to go. So, drone worship, and I'm out, man. I hope that helped you guys. I will try to put the purchase links for this stuff in the description below so you guys can see how I did this. You follow the tutorial yourself. It's pretty easy, and I have a bunch of new ideas coming for this. So I'll catch you guys on the next video. Drone worship, and I'm out, man. Tootie-roo.
Last but not least, guys, don't forget breast cancer awareness. This is not spread around enough. I don't understand why they do it in such small amounts in the US. So this channel is progressively pushing forward to hopefully continue pushing breast cancer awareness. I will put a donation link if anybody would like to donate to any one of the cancer foundations out there. There will be a link in the description below.
There you have it, a film that could save your life with boobs. There's something for everyone. You're welcome, Planet